Deep inside the Titanic, past the grand halls and silent rooms.
From the depth of silence to the light above A.
Every corner of this ship still whispers stories of lives once full of dreams.
Beneath these endless waves, the Titanic rests in silence, but not in death. For over a century, this ship has rested in silence, but the sea is never still. Beyond the main wreck, the sea has scattered pieces of history across her floor. At the far end of the ship, where steel once screamed against the sea, silence now reigns eternal. Deeper still, the air that once carried laughter has turned to silence. Even the smallest rooms has stories, once mirrors of human life. Here, where laughter once echoed and footsteps crossed in sunlight journey, silence now walks alone.
Here, the ocean holds the final breath of the ship's sheet. Broken, silent, yet alive in the deep. These giants once turned with the power of men and fire. Now they rest.
Once towering symbols of strength, now quiet monuments of time, resting beneath the weight of the sea. Here, the story of the Titanic lies scattered, every fragment a memory, every silence a voice of the deep.
In the quiet deep, life still dances, fragile, luminous, eternal. Objects once touched by human hands now rest quietly in the hands of the sea.
What was once decay has become life, rust turned into coral, steel reborn through time. Time has opened every door, yet no one walks these halls. Only the sea moves here now.
Here, where hands once guided a dream through the sea, silence now holds the helm. These giants once breathed fire. Now they sleep in the cold silence of the deep. This was the heart that once gave the ship life. Now it beats only in the memory of the sea. Here, lives once rested, dreams once whispered. Now the sea carries their silence. From here, the world once followed command. Now only the sea decides its course. Here, the treasures of a vanished world sleep, untouched, yet never forgotten.
Here, the treasures of a vanished world sleep, untouched, yet never forgotten. Once a symbol of grace and light, now a cathedral of silence beneath the waves.
These were the stars of their journey, now scattered among the waves.
From this room, the last voices of the Titanic reached the world.
Here, where the ship's fate was once guided, now only the sea holds the wheel.
Here, the sea reclaims what was lost, turning memory into life. These were fragments of lives, carried with hope, now resting in eternity.
Even what's left behind tells a story, one the sea remembers in silence.
Here, where command once carried weight, now only the ocean gives direction. Here, where music once touched the heart, now the ocean composes its own waltz. Time has buried much of what once stood proud, but the ocean never forgets. Within these walls, echoes of a world once alive still linger. Among the ruins lie the treasures of memory, of Lili, once held by hands,
now held by time.
Even among the wreckage, life moves in perfect rhythm, unbroken, untamed, eternal. Here once echoed laughter, the sound of music and fine china.
These were once rooms of comfort. Now the ocean keeps their memories. Time stopped here, yet the sea keeps it ticking in silence.
What once touched life now rests in the ocean's quiet embrace.
Here, once filled with warmth and sound, now only the ocean cooks in silence. Once filled with laughter and light, now only silence descends these steps. Here, decisions once steered destiny. Now, silence commands the helm. Beneath the grand halls and the elegant decks lie the dark rooms, where For over a century, the Titanic has rested here, thus embraced by the sea, untouched by...
From silence came life. The Titanic's resting place has become a cradle of the sea. This is the captain's bridge, once the heart of command. Here, in this room, a faint signal once crossed the Atlantic. The letters C.
We are now entering the Titanic's first-class dining hall, once filled with music and laughter.
We are now entering the first-class hallway of the RMS Titanic. Once
Time has buried much of what once stood proud, but the ocean never forgets. Within these walls, echoes of a world once alive still linger. Among the ruins lie the treasures of memory, of Lily, once held by hands, now held by time.
even among the wreckage, life moves in perfect rhythm, unbroken, untamed, eternal. Here once echoed laughter, the sound of music and fine china.
These were once rooms of comfort. Now the ocean keeps their memory.